It wasn't hard for Amara to watch her mother and wonder if that was what being a mother was all about. Ngozi paid no attention to her daughter and never gave her good advice, especially when she needed it. Once upon a time, in a beautiful village where people lived peacefully amongst themselves, there lived a beautiful woman named Ngozi. She was married to Okeze, and they both had a beautiful daughter named Amara. Ngozi was a very beautiful woman with curves in the right places. She took pride in her beauty and ensured she looked her best. She never wanted to be caught unfresh. She mingled with her still single friends and hardly made time for her family. Her husband had countless times asked her to leave her friends, but she refused to change. Their daughter was about 7 years old when Okeze asked Ngozi when they should try for another child. She said she wasn't interested in ruining her body, and that Amara was enough for them to concentrate on. However, her husband insisted that he needed a son to carry his name, but Ngozi's mind was made up. Ngozi hardly around to give her daughter a good and proper home training. Her husband, Okeze, took on the burden of taking care of their daughter, taught her what she needed to know, and took care of the home while running his business. Ngozi had taken a turn for the worse. She never listened to her husband, was very rude and disrespectful, and didn't mind spending all day doing her makeup, ensuring her hair was well laid, and wearing the best clothes. All that mattered to her was being the most beautiful lady and nothing else. Okeze spent quality time with their daughter, Amara, and ensured she got everything she wanted. But no matter how much Okeze tried his best in training their daughter, it wasn't hard for Amara to watch her mother and wonder if that was what being a mother was all about. Ngozi paid no attention to her daughter and never gave her good advice, especially when she needed it. When she started seeing her period, it was her father who taught her how to use the sanitary pad, and her mother did not even bother, even after she told her mom she got her period. One day, Okeze had a long conversation with his wife and even threatened to divorce her. She only told him to do his worst, that it wouldn't take long for her to find another man to marry her, and left him all by himself. Okeze knew that doing that would break his daughter's heart and decided to tolerate Ngozi's excesses for peace to reign. One day, Okeze was brought back home from work. Apparently, he suffered a stroke. His daughter Amara was devastated. Her mother did not even care to ask what was wrong and only asked how much it would cost to get him back on his feet. They told her it would require a lot of money. She put her daughter in charge of taking care of her husband while she hustled to get the money for his treatment. Amara asked her father why he never remarried, saying she would have supported him. He told her she wouldn't understand and narrated how long ago, before he met Ngozi, he saw what a broken home did to him. It made him very unstable. People made fun of him, while some parents advised their kids to stay away from him because he would corrupt them. He swore never to let his children go through the same ordeal. He promised himself that he would never do that to his children. When he met Ngozi, she was not like that. She was so beautiful and kind. He told Amara that Ngozi was never like this. We were very surprised at her change in attitude. She used to be so loving and caring, always putting his needs before hers. He was very surprised at her change in attitude. She never really cared about what she looked like until she met a group of friends a year after their marriage, and things had never been the same. Amara, though very sad after listening to all her father said, promised not to be like her mother and would love and provide what he needed, even if it meant going out of her way. Amara would wake up very early in the morning, bathe and feed her father before he took his drugs. Her mother would return from wherever she went, drunk, and would go to sleep. Amara would then leave for school. A lot rested on Amara's shoulders, and she wondered how long she would cope. She had only her father to talk to, as her mother was scarcely around. One day, Amara was sent home from school for not paying her school fees. Her father asked her what she was doing at home, and she narrated that her school fees hadn't been paid. He asked her to have patience until her mother comes back so they could let her know. She left for her room, got changed, and stayed with her father. That night, her mother returned, and Amara told her mom she needed to let her know that she had been sent out of school. Her mother told her she couldn't take care of her father and her at the same time, and if Amara wanted her father to be treated, she has to find a way to raise her school fees. She said she couldn't kill herself as her father's treatment was taking all the money she made. The rest she used in feeding them, and she barely had enough to take good care of herself. Okezi asked his wife to please pay the daughter's fees, and she asked him where he thought she got the money she was using to take care of the house and his treatment. Amara overheard the conversation and told her mom not to worry about her fees. She would hope to make money to go to school. Her mother, not being bothered, walked into the room. Amara wondered if she could hawk and still go to school. With determination in her heart, she set up the next morning to hawk oranges. She hawked some fruit to earn some money, but it wasn't easy as she needed a lot of money to be able to accomplish it. One day, she came across a man who helped her buy off her fruit. After asking why she wasn't in school, she told him she was trying to sell off the goods to be able to raise money to pay her fees. He asked her name and she introduced herself as Amara. He said he was Ikenna. They talked briefly and he asked her to come here tomorrow so he could give her the full money needed to pay her fees. She was so happy and went home early. Her father asked her if everything was alright. She told her father that a man had agreed to pay her fees. He was a bit concerned and asked his daughter to be very careful and wary of men with their sweet tongues as they can be deceitful. She thanked her father for his advice. That day she got prepared, went to wait for him at the spot he said he would be. Amara saw Ikenna and lit up a smile. She said, "I have come to collect the money you said you would give me." He said he forgot to bring it on his way there and asked her to follow him to get it. She said, "No, thank you. I can't go anywhere with strangers." He said, "Come on. I thought we are friends now. Come, let me give you the money." He said, "You can stay outside if you want." She insisted and said no. He asked her if the money wasn't important. She said it was important, but she couldn't go with him. He said, "Okay, well, maybe I will see you some other time as I don't have time after today. I hope you raise the money soon." Amara thought about this and seeing she wouldn't go inside, she accepted. They went to the hotel where he said he was lodged, took her to the bar section and asked her to wait there while he got the money for her. He got back shortly and said, "Here is the money, but before you can take it, you have to take a drink." She said she wasn't interested, but he said one drink, even if it was water, as he was a bit bored and needed company. She accepted his offer and they both drank. Shortly afterwards, when she wanted to leave, she noticed her head was spinning. He helped her to his home and took advantage of her vulnerability. She woke up, realizing what just happened, started crying and asked Ikenna why he did that to her. He apologized and said he wanted her and knew she wouldn't make it easy. He let his desire get the best of him. He gave her more than she asked and said if she needed anything, she should let him know. She was still crying, looking at the money in her hands, and left for her home. She wondered what she would tell her sick father and why she did not return the previous night. She felt guilty for not having listened to her instinct when he told her not to trust any man. She cried more. She went in, freshened up, and then went to help her father, who had not been able to eat since she left, not to talk of cleaning himself up. She did it with so much sadness, and when he inquired about her whereabouts last night, she had to lie to her father, saying she got a job last night that could raise the money to pay her fees, and it was urgent work, hence why she could not come back the same day. Her father found it so hard to believe her because he noticed she was so moody. He told her to rest if she needed to, as he could see she was very weak. Ngozi came back and then went to sleep. Amara couldn't bring herself to tell anyone what happened to her and decided to keep it a secret. Months passed and Amara noticed she hasn't seen her monthly flow, and she was also getting very sick. She confided in her father, who asked her to go to the local clinic so they could tell her what was wrong and prescribe some drugs for her. She went, and it was there she was confirmed pregnant. Amara knew this would break her father's heart and did not want to tell him. She asked if she could get rid of it, but they told her she was far gone and nothing could be done. Amara lied to her father that she had malaria and that she needed to take her medicine and rest, assuring him she would be fine. She kept the nylon until she was about 7 months gone, and it became very obvious. She couldn't lie anymore, but told her father that she was pregnant. By that time, her father was already getting better and could walk around. He cried and wondered why he never noticed anything, or if he did not give her enough advice. He asked who was responsible, and she told her father about Ikenna. The same day, Ngozi came home and told her husband that she would be getting married to someone else and that he would be coming later in the day to see him. Okezie was shocked and wondered why his wife would want to do this now, especially when he had just found out his daughter was pregnant and was obviously oblivious to it. Long after, Ikenna stepped into the house, smiling sheepishly as he held Ngozi. They also informed Okezie that she was pregnant for the young man. Okezie got up shouting and asking Ngozi what he ever did to her to make her treat him this way. Amara heard the shouts coming from the sitting room and rushed to check it out. She saw her mother with Ikenna and froze. Her mother, who hadn't noticed her for a while, asked her daughter how she got pregnant and who was responsible. Ikenna kept looking at Amara with an expression of shock as she pointed her hands towards his direction. Her father asked if the young man that just arrived with her mother was the one responsible for her pregnancy, and she nodded her head as she sobbed in tears. Ngozi turned to Ikenna and asked if he knew her daughter. He said he did not know that she had a daughter, so she realized that Ikenna got both her daughter and herself pregnant. They had no words to say and left their home in a hurry. Ngozi sat on the floor crying and asking what she had done to herself, looking at her pregnant daughter and knowing how badly she had failed as a mother and how both of them were pregnant by the same man. Okezie asked his wife to pack her things and leave his house, demanding her people return the bride price. Okezie took care of his daughter and she went on to have a baby boy, which he named Ikedi. He raised him like the son he never had. Amara went back to school, finished, got a good job, and later married a wonderful man. She visited her son, who she left in the care of her father, who had already healed from the stroke. Her mother, Ngozi, became an object of ridicule to her friends and family. The daughter she had was a constant reminder of her failure as a woman and the wrong she had done. No one wanted to associate with her. She had to learn how to farm and feed herself and her daughter. Amara never wanted to have anything to do with her mother and cut ties with her. The end. Lesson to be learned from this story: never take your home for granted. Do not be unfaithful or commit adultery. It has its repercussion. If you know you do not love or want to be committed in a relationship, don't bother going into one. Learn not to trust strangers so easily, as they can be very evil and deceitful.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.